If you like to spend about 4 to 6 days paddling in a location like this, then this video guide should be of interest to you. The title to this video uses the rather lofty wording, ultimate paddle. This is because I think this area offers the ultimate paddle of historic significance, the ultimate visionary enchantment, the ultimate physical and mental relaxation, the ultimate connection to nature. Lewis and Clark, guided by the Shoshone woman Sacagawea, led the most important expedition in the American history. How about putting up tent in the same spots as the Lewis and Clark expedition and get an amazing connection to American history? Meriwether Lewis wrote in his journal about this area. As we passed on, it seemed as if those scenes of visionary enchantment would never have an end. The paddle offers the ultimate relaxation and meditation. In fact, it can be done to a large extent without paddling, just gently drifting with plenty of time to enjoy the great scenery. You get the ultimate wildlife experience by quietly drifting along, not disturbing the wildlife in this remote wilderness. The paddle location is a part of the Upper Missouri River in Montana. It is the stretch of the river between Coalbanks Landing and Judith Landing, an easy 4 days paddle. The closest town is the historic Fort Benton. Coalbanks Landing is a 2-day paddle from Fort Benton. However, it is recommended that you instead drive to Coalbanks to start your paddle there. There's also the option to continue from Judith Landing and do an additional 45 days paddle to reach Kip's recreational area. However, this stretch is not as scenic as the trip from Coalbanks to Judith Landing. The US government has made available a free 68-page superb guide. The link to the downloadable PDF document is given in the comments section. It is the definite guide to paddling Coalbanks to Judith Landing, but also includes the stretch from Fort Benton to Coalbanks. The guide can also be bought from outfitters in Fort Benton or online as a soft paper copy. The guide gives the exact location, distances, and facilities of the 10 boat camps from Coalbanks to Judith Landing. The current video guide only focuses on the most important and useful information gained from a 2-person, 2-kayak trip from Coalbanks to Judith Landing. It also provides some visual highlights to show you the great scenery you can expect. There are 2 types of segments of the river, a recreational segment and a wild and scenic segment. Because of the motorized boat restriction, it is best to paddle the wild and scenic segment, and the best time to do so is between June 15th and September 15th. An even much better time is between the end of August and September 15th because the schools have started. You then find a lot of solitude. The major section from Coalbanks Landing to Judith Landing contains the wild and scenic segment. This is why this river stretch is so highly recommended. Due to river pollution, you need to bring 1 gallon of water per person per day. We used half a gallon fizzy drink bottles for 2 persons, 2 kayaks for our 4-day river trip. We did not encounter any snakes, but be careful when walking through tall vegetation and rock outcroppings. Be careful collecting firewood. Put clothes and other items inside tents and close tents when leaving for walks. Use designated fenced-in river camps where pollution from grazing farm animals can be a problem. The availability of toilet facilities of variable degree of comfort is described in the downloadable guide. Only some contains toilet paper, so bring your own. Just as precious as the great scenery is the unpolluted, sublime, gentle sound of nature you don't find many places in the world. Also, by proper respectful distance to the very few visitors you find in this very remote location, you can experience a very peaceful and sedative solitude. Thus be as quiet as possible. Keep distance at camps and on the water. When approached by others, adjust your paddle speed to increase the distance and regain your precious solitude. If you leave for longer walks or hit the sack for the night, do not leave your kayaks or canoes like this. Very strong storms can appear very rapidly in this area and push them out in the water and far away. Pull them up on the shore and firmly tie them to a tree or a bush. Secure your paddles as well. You have two options from where to spend the night before you start your river paddle at Coalbanks Landing. Option 1 that we used is to stay in Fort Benton, where you then can arrange for an outfitter pickup at Judith Landing at the end of your paddle. We stayed at an excellent city-run riverside campground located in the fairground area, where you have access to free showers. The next morning you will then drive to Coalbanks Landing. Option 2 is to stay overnight at the campground in Coalbanks Landing for an easy start the next morning. You have access to fresh drinking water. You will arrange for payment of fees and register for your trip at the ranger station before launching your boats. Starting off from Coalbanks, you will be following the Missouri River downstreams, hopefully with a lot of excitement and wishful anticipation as you head towards an increasingly spectacular scenery. Navigation is very simple using the excellent, very detailed sequential river maps in the downloadable guide. The guide gives you river miles to enable simple calculations of travel times to reach river camps. Distances are relatively short, so no need to rush. Maximize enjoyment by relaxing on the river and take plenty of time to absorb the stunning nature. No need to rush to next camp that may be a far less exciting place to spend your time. Also, planning for a late camp arrival gives you more time to explore the historically and geologically fascinating areas along the river. At most camps, you may not spend more than a late afternoon and one night. However, it is highly recommended that you plan to stop at the Eagle Creek camp area and spend a full day or more there. Here you have great trails for exploring the spectacular scenery, wildlife, and for enjoying the great views from the various vista points.